We've all been eagerly awaiting the start of the Overwatch 2 beta, which is coming in just 11 days, April 26th. I hope you all get in. In the meantime, Overwatch 2 has undergone an alpha testing period where pros gave feedback to the developers, and over the past few weeks, they've been putting out articles and information on their findings and how they've been changing the game. Just yesterday, there was a developer live stream explaining the new hero Sojourn, her abilities, but what I even found more interesting was the design philosophy of Overwatch 2 in general. It's all really painting a picture on the direction the 2.0 version of the game is going to take.
Today's video sponsor is Opera GX, the #1 web browser designed specifically for gamers. Opera GX is packed with features that'll make it easy to dump clunky old Chrome. It's got way more customization, a lot of cool color palettes. I'm a fan of the animated wallpapers myself. They just got a mobile version. Look how clean that looks. I'm a big fan of the purple myself. And folks, join the 21st century and use dark mode, why don't you? I'm always reading gaming news on my phone, and Opera GX makes it the easiest and best to navigate. But the game changer is the performance controls. GX Control lets you set custom limits on CPU and RAM usage. This is the kind of thing the other browsers don't even think of. It's built specifically for gamers like you. You can't have your browser stealing bandwidth and resources while you're trying to game. Take control of that right now. And it's got everything you would want built right in. Twitch integration means I can see who's going live right from the sidebar. Whether it's for the customization or the tailor-fit experience, you're gonna wanna try out Opera GX today because it's free. They make it super easy to change over from Chrome. With a single click, you can import all your bookmarks. Don't delay, take our link in the description right now to try out Opera GX. Stop using that clunky old Chrome browser immediately. And that mobile version's looking extra clean, so check that one out too. Don't delay, take our link in the description to try out Opera GX for free right now.
Yesterday, there was a Sojourn Reveal and developer discussion breaking down her place in the game and what to expect. Sojourn is a commander of Overwatch, very nimble with her movement and devastating with her damage. Jeff Goodman described her as being designed around the concept of the railgun. But it's more important than just that. She's a centerpiece for Overwatch 2. Not just the story, I think, but also the design of the game in general. I'll get more into that later. Sojourn's ability set include a power slide into a massive leap when you cancel it, a primary fire automatic rifle that gives her charge when you hit with it, that allows you to unleash and unload that energy into a railgun shot that one hit kills enemies. She has a grenade, which is an area of effect, damage, and slow to finish off enemies or set them up for a railgun shot, and her ultimate allows her to quickly fire the railgun without needing to charge it up herself with a small break in between each shot. This means if you have aim, Sojourn is a walking highlight reel, no matter how they end up balancing this character. She's designed to pop off. As you might imagine, this sounds incredibly overtuned, but that's kind of the point of Overwatch characters. A bit of the elephant of the room is that we've seen this hero a year ago at BlizzConline, and as we all know, the devs had all manner of problems and management issues, so everything got delayed. But I hope Sojourn isn't the only new hero we get in the beta, or at the very least, the main release of the game. I assume there's more heroes around the corner, but we'll have to wait and see on that. My favorite parts of the live stream were when Jeff Goodman was giving a very honest take, which I want to come out and say is why I was always such a big fan of Jeff Goodman through the years, because I had the opportunity to speak to him off the record and hear how honest, down-to-earth, and smart he actually is. Prior to this, the Blizzard PR team seemingly wanted all the developers to speak like they couldn't make mistakes, or really be honest about what their design philosophy was. It was always a very tailor-fit message, but with Overwatch 2 and the devs having to come out hat in hand apologizing for all the delays and stuff, much of which, of course, wasn't their fault, it seems like they're also allowed to be real for once with us. Jeff Goodman comes out on this live stream just being honest that they designed for finding the fun first and then tuning it later, which I think is an important indicator of what to expect with Overwatch 2.0. I think it's safe to expect that it's aiming to be more of a bombastic action game as opposed to the more boring aspects of Overwatch 1. The design of Sojourn kind of looks like a Valorant agent, whereas the devs describe she's very feast or famine, which if you play Valorant, that sounds just like Reyna or a lot of the other duelists. Sojourn's like that, where although the devs admit they were pretty surprised seeing what the pros could do with her in the alpha, making her look like the best hero that's ever existed, at the same time, if the person piloting the character can't aim, none of that matters, right? And that seems like a fairly fair place for the game to be overall. But as they go to say in the live stream, dying to Sojourn, although obviously she's very powerful, doesn't feel terrible because at least she has to hit you. Which, if that's the rule set Overwatch 2 plays by, I think we're in for a really cool game. Just as Jeff Goodman said, they would make a very watered down game if all they focused on was balance. Just balance alone is boring. And I say that as someone who is very interested in gameplay diversity and balance. None of that matters if the game's not fun, right? And Sojourn certainly looks like a fun hero to play and watch. And the reason I'm making these conclusions, it's because publicly Blizzard have said through a other blog post that the map design of Overwatch 2, at least the push game mode, is intended to be more porous and incentivize flanking. This is a game that wants you to get into duels, not wearing down the enemy's shields and defenses half the game before you get to play. So while we should expect a character like Sojourn to be overtuned more easily in that environment, we also can expect that means we're playing a hero shooter game, not just a game about hiding behind shields all game. I'm very interested on this map design point, because this is the type of thing, as a creator, we would really need to get our hands on it to give you a more detailed analysis of how good or bad the map design is. So until that happens, I can't say. But I think if the devs succeed in their aims, it's really, really good news. Next up, I talked about the new ping system, which I think is a massive upgrade to Overwatch and its playability with random players. When you press the ping button on an enemy, your hero will call out their name and mark it on the UI for your team. It'll linger behind a wall, but the enemy has ways to cleanse it with an ability like Fade. You also have an entirely separate from your main comms wheel, which you guys know I love, I talk about it all the time, is another comms wheel just for the ping system where you can ping specific commands. You can say you're attacking, defending, or need help in a specific area, all with the character's voice lines, which is awesome. The developers admit that this is a work in progress and they're looking to improve it. So through the beta, try to give them feedback on not just the balance of the game, which I know you all will. They also note that if a teammate is being too annoying with pings, you of course can block them. And last up for today's news roundup, the senior UI designer on Overwatch, Jason Kirby, showed this concept art for a menu in Overwatch 2. Not only does it look super clean, the high-res image of Bastion looks nice, but it blatantly indicates that Overwatch 2 is either thinking about or is going to definitely have a battle pass, which if it does, also seems to indicate that there may be a new business model surrounding Overwatch 2. Interesting. Let me ask you guys what you think. Since the devs have already admitted that they're splitting the PvE away from the PvP update, or maybe this time it's Overwatch PvP 1.5 Electric Boogaloo, I don't know what they're calling it anymore, but since it's not being held back by the big campaign they want to eventually make, would it make sense to charge an asking price for a fully multiplayer game in 2022 when almost all of them are free? Would that actually work when there's nothing else combined with it like originally intended? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Free-to-play games typically have problems with hackers, which Overwatch 1 already does, to be honest, but as the devs admitted, there's an engine upgrade coming with Overwatch 2. Maybe that might secure a little more security, at least for the short term. Who knows? But the benefits, of course, being a much wider player base, much easier barrier of entry. You can get any of your friends into it just by asking them to download it, for example. The incentives of the developers are skewed towards the players that actually play it and continuously fund it, which I think was part of the reason they decided to pull resources from Overwatch 1, because it wasn't making more money. And for me, I love RPG systems that give me opportunities to work towards things in the game. Just as a casual player, although I do have competitive drive to improve, it's a lot more fun for me to just shoot for different challenges or spice up the gameplay as opposed to trying to ride the path to pro. It's just too difficult for most of us. So that for me personally, and I think a lot of players like me, will give us a reason to log into play even just for quick play, which at the moment really only happens when they release a skin package on an event. Well guys, that's everything for today's video. We'll keep our eyes peeled for upcoming information regarding Overwatch 2. It's got me pretty excited. I just want to see much more new things that we haven't seen before, as well as the very high promise that they're going to release lots of new content rolling around the corner. Well, time's a ticking. 11 days till the beta. I'm primed to be impressed, but they have to bring the goods. Speaking of goods, check out our link in the description to check out Opera GX completely for free. The web browser for your computer and now your cell phone, designed specifically for gamers. So to make sure you don't miss out on new videos, be sure to click the subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified directly to your cell phone when our videos come out. That's been it for me. I've been Frito for Your Overwatch. We'll see you guys next time.